Hey there, I'm Michael and welcome to another Review Wars where you the viewers get to decide the best game in a category. And this week we are looking at the best fantasy themed games. So let's take a look at our nominations.
What is fantasy? A dictionary says it's the faculty or activity of imagining impossible or improbable things. Wikipedia says it's a fiction genre set in an imaginary universe, magic or other supernatural elements as a main plot element. Now, what is good fantasy? For me, good fantasy has consistent rules for the universe. It fills us with wonder and it shows us the impossible. Similarly, a good fantasy game should show us what will never be and just make us simply filled with wonder. And I present to you Magic the Gathering. Now, in Magic the Gathering, every expansion is a new world, and each card a new possibility. You have creatures that you summon to help you. You are planeswalkers, and you can bring in planeswalker allies to fight alongside you. Planeswalkers with the ability to travel from world to world. And twice a year, they build an entire world for you to discover. Now you can have massive creatures. You can have artifacts that aid you on your quest. You can have sorceries that change the world in surprising and twisted ways. You can have enchantments that play with the airy fabric of time. Your spells can do anything. You can play with time. You can destroy everything in the game. You can even nullify other people's spells. I mean, this is a game that brought so much to life. And once in a while, you will get one of the really old cards. Once in a while, you will see some cards that seem like they are almost from a different universe. And so, with Magic the Gathering, you can't expect to have everything. That's too expensive. You need to be okay with just having a little bit. So if you know someone who plays the game, have them teach you. They give you a deck, or you can buy 2 pre-constructed decks. You and a friend play together. Pay £20 for a pre-release tournament. And when you go to a pre-release tournament, you get a bit of bump about the world. You get treated to this. You get quite often a little trinket like a die. You get maybe some achievements to try and tick off. And it is a full day experience with everyone learning about this new world and everyone seeing what is together. Yes, they show previews, but this is about that shared experience. Eventually you can, once you've been to a couple, or someone gives you some cheap bulks, you can play casually. It's more of a game system than a game in itself. And there's so many ways to play. And even though I have a big collection of cards, I mean, yeah, literally thousands, I just have a tiny part of what's there. And I see cards on the internet, and it makes me filled with wonder. And that's what good fantasy should do.
Arcadia Quest might not be the most interesting game mechanically, and it's definitely not for everyone. But for me, this is the pinnacle of fantasy games. This is by far the best fantasy game because it is the most fun. You have handfuls of dice that you're rolling, you're killing people, you're moving around. It is pure Ameritrash. You have your Guild of Heroes that gives you this feel like D&D games, like this mini RPG, and because the game is broken down into campaigns, that furthers the RPG feel. And so you get this progression as you buy new equipment and make your heroes better and stronger as you go through each level. It's fantastic. It's got modular board, tons of minis, beautiful artwork. The quests are varied and interesting. It's not just you've got to do the same thing every time. You've got different things. Sometimes it's pick stuff up, deliver it somewhere. Sometimes it's kill things. Sometimes it's who knows what. There are tons of them. And this game is absolutely superb because you never know what is going to happen. It is so random. And typically I wouldn't like that randomness, but there are ways you can mitigate it. Roll extra dice, get re-rolls for your dice. But at the end of the day, you're rolling these dice and these dice have critical hits on them. When you roll a critical hit, you get another dice. So you could start with one dice and end up with 100 hits. It is just absolutely fun. I have yet to find a single game that gives me the dungeon crawling aspect of an RPG in such a tight little package, and is just so fun, and the artwork is fun, and the game isn't just cooperative, it's PvE. You're fighting against the environment, you're killing these monsters off, these gorgeous monsters, or you're killing each other's heroes. It is absolutely superb. There is tactical choices there, but it always plays differently. You never know what's going to happen. Arcadia Quest, by far, the coolest and best fantasy game there is.
Hello, welcome to Board Deck and Dice's vote for the best fantasy game. Now, there's a lot of fantasy games out there, and fantasy theme is pasted on a lot of games. There are many I could have chosen for this, but I chose Aeon's End, the new-ish cooperative deck builder from Indie Board and Cards. And the reason I like this game is it combines some of my favourite things, co-op and deck building. And it does the deck building in a very unique way, where you're not playing your attack spells directly to cause attack that go. Instead, you have 4 square cards at the top of your player board, which are called breaches, and you can spend the currency you accumulate to open these breaches or focus them and play spells to them. If you play a spell in an open breach, you do not have to cast it until you want to, and there may be some rewards for not casting it. So some spells will accumulate damage the longer they're left in a breach, in an open breach, whereas spells cast to closed breaches will be cast during your next go. And each of the characters have different setups for their breaches. So one person might start with 2 breaches open out of 4. So one person might only have 3 breaches total, and so there's different differences to each of the characters. Also, each character starts with a unique starting deck and a starting hand, which will have some similar cards in, but some unique ones which are pretty good. And you do not shuffle your discard pile, so once you've burned through your draw pile, you just flip your discard pile over onto the other side. And this makes you really think about how you discard cards, when you buy cards, which order you buy them in to get them into your discard pile. That some of the currency cards double up if you play the same currency twice in a hand, so you might buy one from the market with one you've got in your hand and then put them next to each other in the discard pile, so that next time they've got a better chance of coming out together. There is random turn order. There is an order deck, a play order deck, which includes the nemesis you're fighting, and they could have 2 turns in a row, but then your combined forces could have 4 turns in a row. But then you know all the time the nemesis doesn't come up, you know it's coming up, and you know that it could be very bad for you. Each nemesis has a different feel and a different flavour to them. One plays like these husks which you have to deal with. One builds up loads and loads of fury and you're thinking, well, that's fine, that's no worries, and then a minion comes out that uses all that fury to attack you or Gravehold, the town you're meant to be protecting. It's just a very neat, very different, has enough differences to make it feel different deck builder. It's also very difficult. The base game which I've got, this wasn't a Kickstarter, comes with 4 nemesises and about 8 playable characters, and you can see they're really going to be able to expand this system into interesting places. There's a lot of gameplay here. Aeon's End is not only a fantastic game, but it is at the moment my favourite fantasy game. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time on Board Deck and Dice.
So that's our 3 nominations. We have Aeon's End, Magic the Gathering, and Arcadia Quest. But which of those do you think is the best? Put your vote in the comments below or upvote someone else's. Or maybe you think another game should deserve to win. Let us know in the comments. Then come back in about a week's time and we'll collate the votes and let you know who you, the viewers, have chosen as the best fantasy themed game for Review Wars. Okay, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, as well as subscribing and sharing the channel. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.